Hello everyone, Illya Marchenko here, your favorite tennis YouTuber. Today is Wednesday, November 23rd, and that means it's time for another ATP Challenger weekly review by a pro. If anything, I'm the pro here. Last week's tournaments were held in 5 cities: Champaign, Drummondville, Sao Leopoldo, Helsinki and Kobe. First, let's go to Champaign. Champaign is a city widely known as home to the University of Illinois. Its population is around 88,000 people. It is the 10th most populous municipality in Illinois and the 4th most populous city in Illinois outside the Chicago metropolitan area. To talk about American challengers for the last 3 weeks is pretty boring. Usually Shelton and Eubanks beat everyone and meet in the final, where Shelton wins the title in a 3-set battle. The only difference last week was that Eubanks lost in the semis to the Australian Alexander Vukic.
Alex Vukic delighting the home crowd for the 2nd straight year. He's reaching the final.
By the end of the day, Shelton once again was the best player, and after a terrible start and losing the first set 0-6, he eventually beat Vukic in the final 0-6, 6-3, 6-2.
That's just filthy again.
Shelton's incredible run continues as he wins his 3rd back-to-back title and breaking the ATP Top 100 for the first time in his career. Jeez, these American tournaments are so predictable. Ben Shelton, you must stop. No, seriously. The doubles title went to Galloway and Hug Verdugo, who beat Clark Perez in the final 3-6, 6-3, 10-5. Moving on to the next event, and it's a Challenger AT in Drummondville. Drummondville is a city in the Centre du Quebec region of Quebec. It markets itself as a Quebec's capital of expression and traditions, with attractions focusing on culture, both past and present. From 1982 to 2017, Drummondville was home to the Mondial de Culture, one of the largest folk dance festivals in the world. The draw was pretty good, with such names as Emilio Gomez, Vasek Pospisil and Michael Moore among the top seeds. Let's start with the battle of the tournament. Quarterfinal 3-hour match between Antoine Escoffier and Aziz Daugas. Fun fact, these guys have played doubles together and even made semis the previous week in Calgary. After 2 breaks in a row in the 6th and 7th game, players arrived to the first tiebreak. Antoine had 4 set points, but Aziz was a little bit better. Nobody wanted to lose serve in the 2nd set, so they ended up with another tiebreak. This time it was Antoine's turn to be stronger mentally. In the 3rd set, Aziz Daugas was up a break 3 times, including serving for the match at 5-4, but could not hold on to his advantage, so he ended up with another tiebreak. The momentum was obviously on the side of Escoffier, so he confidently took the tiebreak 7-2. In the semis though, he was beaten in another 3-set clash by the home favorite and a very experienced player, Vasek Pospisil. 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. In the bottom part of the draw, the strongest player was an American, Michael Moore, who till the final hadn't lost a set. Michael was smart and figured out that there is nothing to do at those American challengers, because they go by the same scenario week in, week out. Anyway, it was Vasek Pospisil who took the title in a 3-set match 7-6, 4-6, 6-4, but still good result for Michael, and he is getting closer to the top 100. In doubles, the top seed British team Cash and Patton were celebrating the victory. Now let's move to Latin America. Our next tournament is a Challenger AT in Sao Leopoldo. Once again, the draw consisted predominantly the clay court specialists from Latin America. Pretty straightforward tournament, as number 1, 2 and 4 seeds were in the semi-finals. The only surprise here was a young Brazilian Seiboth Wild, who is not actually a surprise either, as he has an ATP title in Rio to his name. He still lost to the number 2 seed Varillas, so number 1 and 2 seed have met in the final. After 3 sets and 3 hours of clay court tennis battle, the destiny of the title had to be decided on a tiebreak. 7-5 for Juan Pablo Varillas, and he wins the DAF Men Plus Care Sao Leo Open. The best team in doubles were Argentinians Guido Andreozzi and Guillermo Duran. Moving on to the next one, and it's the biggest event of the week, Challenger 90 in Helsinki. Helsinki is the capital of Finland. It has one of the world's highest standards of urban living. Plenty of things to do and to see here. The draw was pretty strong as it was the only event in Europe. And as the season comes to an end, players who are just outside of a top 100, like Gombush, Van Rijthoven and Machac, want to get some points to qualify for Australian Open main draw. But I want to start this tournament story from the first round of qualification, where a 20-year-old youngster, Leonardo Ridi, from Switzerland, played another teenager, 19 years old, Marc Layal. Ridi won the first set 6-3, but then got broken twice at the beginning of the second. Even though he was able to take one break back, he still lost the set 4-6. In the end, Ridi won the match, but this lost set turned out to be one of the 2 lost sets for him of the whole tournament. And no, not because he got injured in the next round. This 20-year-old youngster won the whole tournament, beating experienced players like Marterer and Sels on his way to the final. In the final, he met with Machac, who, without any problems, was crushing his opponents in the bottom half of the draw, and was an obvious favorite of this clash. But Ridi surprised again, as he absolutely destroyed the young Czech, 6-3, 6-1. From a tight 3-setter against a wildcard in the first round of qualies to destroying the 5th seed and number 112 in the world in the finals. That's how competitive Challenger Tour is right now. Or maybe we are witnessing the birth of another Swiss tennis star. The universe loves balance. The doubles title was taken by Indian team Raja Sharan. Our next Challenger Tour event was in Kobe. Kobe is Japan's 7th largest city. It has a population of around 1.5 million people. Kobe is world famous for its Kobe beef and is home to Japan's most famous hot spring resort, Arima Onsen. Beef and hot spring resort. Nice. Fun fact, the stadium where the tournament was held is earthquake resistant. The quality of the draw was pretty decent. 4 of the 8 top seeds were from Australia. Christopher O'Connell, who won the Yokohama Challenger 2 weeks ago and skipped Matsuyama afterwards, was focused to add another title to his collection. But it was easier said than done. In the first round, it took him a full 2 hours and 55 minutes and saving 3 match points in the second set to beat Colin Sinclair from the exotic territory of Northern Mariana Islands. In the next 2 rounds, Christopher had to break a sweat again, but still came out as the winner, beating the young talent from Kazakhstan, Baby Djukaev, and his countryman Mark Polmans, 6-2, 6-7, 6-1 and 7-5, 7-6 respectively. And when the final was just around the corner, he fell short to the home favorite and number 8 seed Yosuke Watanuki. The other half was more unpredictable, as 2 unseeded players from Europe, Ferreira Silva and Serdar Rusic, met in the semi-final. After 3 sets and almost 2 hours, Ferreira Silva was better 6-4, 3-6, 6-3. Another 3-hour battle awaited us in the final, but the title ended up in the hands of the home player, Watanuki, 6-7, 7-5, 6-4. The doubles title also stayed in Japan, as the winners there was a local team who got in as a wildcard, Hazawa and Shimizu. Like I said in the previous episode, Asians are pretty strong on the home soil. And with the amount of challengers in the region being added to the ATP calendar, I expect the next year to be the breakthrough year for some Asian guys. Subscribe to stay up to date with the news on the Challenger Tour.